Alright, let's try this again. Third time's a charm. Somehow the video got listed as private, and I sat here like a jackass with my thumb in my ass, wondering why is nobody here. It's because it's listed as a private video. We'll see if anybody shows up this time. Hello. Excuse me. Apparently it's working this time. I sat here for 10 minutes before and wondered why, like, wait, this must be the wrong time of day. The video somehow I haven't changed anything. Hey, Patricia, and Dawn, and my vicarious life, Annette, Vicky. No, I sat here for 10 minutes and somehow I didn't change anything from I'm still learning this software. And, yeah. I don't know. Something on the YouTube watch page had the video listed as private, so I sat here for 10 minutes. It's a good time, said nobody ever. What's up, Tony Jean? I figured out another setting. This actually should be streaming at a higher quality than it has been. For whatever reason, there's a whole different program that I have to use that's called Wirecast in conjunction with the YouTube page that had my camera set at 240p. Yeah, I had to wait for it because something you gotta understand from the what's up, Janet, and Charlene, and Burlnack. On my end of things, once the live video is over, the video has to process before it shows up on my video list. And before it's processed, if I go back in and start it again, it just ties the two videos together. So I have to wait for it to pop up in my video list for me to delete it so that I can go back in and do it, so that it doesn't end up just being an extension of the same video. Anyway, yeah, it's a process that I'm slowly learning. I thought I had it down, but then the YouTube page itself gave me a curveball today and said that it was I was not in the military. I was signed up to go into the Air Force. I'd taken my ASVABs, and like a week before I was supposed to go get my my physical, I blew my knee out, torn ACL in my right knee, and then I got my knee fixed, and I got my leg healthy again to the point where I felt like I could pass the military exam. And literally, like 3 days before I was supposed to go get my medical clearance, I blew my knee out a second time. So yeah, and having that knee blown out twice, there was no going back. And again, I walked on that blown knee after I blew it the second time because I didn't have insurance for a lot of years. I walked around with a torn ACL to the point where, yeah, BMX bikes, where both of my meniscal discs in my knee were like they had been ripped in half, and half of one was upside down. But that was almost 8 years I walked around like that. And yeah, the second time it got fixed, it significantly better. They did put some cadaver flesh, like somebody had to die for me to be able to walk. Yeah, no, it's working. I got it fixed. Keep trying. I don't have the answer on the raffle thing. If it'll let you enter 14 times, enter 14 times. You know, all's fair in love and war, they say, right? I don't know how many times it's only the second time I've used the raffle system, and I don't know if you can enter multiple times or not. There's still, as fast as this channel has gotten to its point, the channel has grown faster than my learning curve on a lot of these things. And I'm kind of, you guys are here with me as I'm learning it, and sometimes this stuff works, sometimes it doesn't. Because I mean, it's been, let's see, today is the 5th, so it has been 6 months and 8 days since my first dumpster diving video, where I had 26 subscribers, and to have 2020 today in 6 months and 10 days, it's pretty rapid channel growth. And there's a definite learning curve to learning all the little quirks and the ins and outs, and because I mean, you've got to learn the editing end of things. You got to figure out how to shoot something that somebody wants to watch with a camera. You got to buy the technology that it takes to do it. You can't do it on garbage technology, and I've been doing it on garbage technology and making it work. But I finally have got a new computer. I finally found my 20 megapixel camera that was missing for, I don't know, 6 months. I couldn't find it, and then one day, I don't even remember where it was that I found it. I think it was on my desk. No, it was down. Yeah, it was down by the TV. Like, and then I've gone through a handful of tripods and things, but then aside from making a video itself that somebody's going to want to watch, and trying to let the truest self of your personality to be as transparent as you can possibly be. I'll get to that by my vicarious life. Then you have to figure out all the quirks of YouTube. And when I say the quirks of YouTube, the whole monetization end of things with YouTube, you can click the monetization button all you want, until you can figure out your Google AdSense account and how to tie. Oh my God, I spent 3 days. 3 days it took to figure out where within the Google AdSense page, and what I needed to copy from YouTube to put into that. And I mean, it's a whole process. That yeah. Anyhow, you guys have been here for the ride, most of you. I've lost a few people along the way. I'm going to say I lost 400 subscribers last month, yet my channel grew 500. We haven't yet, Cheryl. Now, my vicarious life, how many miles did you average on the monster truck trip per day? Day one was, what, 62 or 63 miles on day one. Day two was biking the car because of some issues with the camping, and it was Myrtle Beach spring break, so safety, drunk fuckers, yeah. And then day three ended up being, it was either 57 or 59 miles. There was no riding the next day. We threw it in the car. And then Beaufort to sea level, where I saw the donkeys, I want to say it was only like 20. And then it was when we went from the Cedar Island campground there in sea level, it was 12 miles to the ferry, I think, and then 2.5 hours on the ferry, and then Ocracoke was, what, another 12 miles or something? About 12 miles from bottom to top, and then another ferry, and then we got into Hatteras, and there was supposed to be a campground open called Frisco. We got into Hatteras, and we were literally, we were there, what was that, Wednesday or Thursday that we made it to? I think that was a Wednesday. It was day 6, and none of the campgrounds opened until Saturday. So we were literally like 3 days early for everything. There weren't even any gas stations open. So after that, putting in 25 miles in like 4 hours on ferries, we had no choice but to throw the bike in the car, and
found an establishment.
We did. We found a place called Barney's, the Pirate Motel. That was pretty high dollar. I mean, it was put together well. It was quality. It just was pretty tacky. And then the next day, I want to say it was only like 8 or 9 miles from there to meet Dennis Anderson. So that's the trip in a nutshell. On a 65-pound bike. I would never leave. I've been loving your channel. I live my dumpster dreams through you.
Thank you. I'm curious.
Yeah. Mad props. Well, that's, hey, if I can tell you one thing.
Don't camp in the
Well, you don't try to camp. Well, sea level wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Place in Beaufort wasn't bad.
Yeah, you just gotta be cautious.
You're one of the most honest giving divers. There's no way I'm leaving. Your videos are awesome. Well, did you not see the bike? It's a Orange County Chopper Schwinn Stingray that has a 4.5-inch wide tire on the back of it in one gear.
Hey, would it fit in the back of the new wagon without coming apart?
I'll probably still have to take the front wheel off of it to get it in the back of the, I don't know that it weighs 65 pounds, but that sumbitch is heavy as fuck. But no, the place we stayed in Beaufort was, it was beautiful, but it was strange. Hello from Australia. Because they had camping, and it was right down by the water, but it was what they called primitive camping, which had no electricity. You can turn the heater on. Wow, it's 70 degrees in here. Never mind. Menopause. But it was, the people who owned the campground lived at the campground, and the tent camping was in their front yard. And when we're out there trying to eat and barbecue and do all this, and they came out and sat on their front porch. Kind of weird camping in somebody's front yard. It was beautiful. If anybody's on my Facebook friend list and feels like scrolling for days, I live streamed on Facebook. There were stingrays that were actually spawning in the water right there.
Which is like never.
Yeah, I've never seen that before in my life, and they hadn't either.
Yeah, and they were from there. Yeah. They're up there.
Yeah, I know the back seat goes down in the Jeep, but the bike is really big. The bike is really, really big.
She's a hardy girl.
Like, Google it. Let me see if I can find a picture and share a link. Hold on here. Let's see if I can't find a... that's not going to let me do that. Just Google, hello from Michigan, love the videos.
You should tell the story of how you acquired the bike.
How I acquired that bike. Why won't it let me type anything? That's exciting. I can't type in my own chat room. Anyway, Google OCC Schwinn Stingray on whatever device you are on, and you will see what it is that I rode the better part of. We cut about 100 miles, so no, it won't do a wheelie at all. You can't stand on it either. It's all sitting the whole time. You were saying, dear? I forgot.
How you acquired her. She was originally my bike.
Well, it was my wife's bike. No, the bike actually, that, and I have a old school banana seat Stingray. Some people moved out about 2 houses up the street, and they threw a whole bunch of stuff in the trash on the side of the road because we do large trash pickup here. And a guy who does scrap beat me to it and had that bike in the back of his car that he'd pulled out of the garbage on the side of the road. Into which I was like, dude, you're going to scrap that. Dookie 3.0, I don't know. I was like, dude, I'll give you 20 bucks a piece for those bikes. So I paid $20 for that bike. And I cleaned it all up, and then it was the wife's bike for a while, but then she decided that she didn't want to ride it or something. I don't know. I got on it one day.
Yeah,
I just got on it one day and started riding it. And then I had a hold my beer moment. I rode 35 miles one day, and it was like, you know what? I could probably ride to North Carolina. Oh, what a terrible idea that was. So, I got another box in the mail today. This woman loves me, apparently. She seems like a sweetheart with the little bit of communication that we...
She's in Kentucky.
She's in Kentucky.
She's a good lady.
Yeah, let's see.
I lived there 4 years. That's where I went to college.
There's a note. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Nobody. I found some more shirts and hoodies I cannot fit. These are new, just been hanging in the closet. Hats are also new, never worn. I enjoy your cooking blogs as well as your diving. Again, thank you for helping our vets in need. Audrey Williamson, ex-sergeant, U.S. Air Force, November 1981 to December 1990. We have Dookie dumpsters, where we have found, what part, Robin, ZM, and Midwest? Okay. They're talking back and forth with each other. Dookie 3.0, we don't have one yet. We have the Dookie dumpster, and then we have the Dookie dumpster 2.0, and we call them the Dookie dumpster because in both trash cans at one point I found human shit. The last time that I found human shit, it was in a pair of shitty pants in the dumpster. You never know what you're going to find in the trash. Thank you, Audrey Williamson, for the shirts. Thank you for the service to our country. And let's see what we got in the box. What we got first, she does like her. Alberta Delgado. Thanks, man. I got an orange Harley Davidson hat. What do you think? Which one goes better, the orange one or the gray one? She sent me 2 Harley hats.
Put on the rust.
Why not? She sent me a shirt that almost matches. Hey, look at that. It almost fits. Oh, and then I can be... I thought I could almost be rad. Let's see. Pulling out number 1. These are all like such... Grand Rapids, Traverse City. Thank you, Mrs. Audrey. Cool, you're about 40 miles from there. Let's see. That's a nice one.
Jersey type.
Almost,
sleeve.
yeah. That one's cool. Just wish it would actually get cold here so that I could wear more sleeves. It's been a warm winter. I'm sure we'll have a few more days. Let's see. Yeah, because I actually think it's supposed to snow next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Farmer's Almanac says sometime in February.
Yeah, because the weather here is like, dude, it was like 70 degrees today, and then on Saturday it'll be like 20. What's up, Zoe Tompkins?
Is it Zoe?
Zoe or Zoe, sorry. Let's see. Another Harley Davidson. You know, I got my mom, let's see, I hooked my sister that lives in Connecticut to do the dumpster diving at Ulta and Five Below. Yeah, we don't go there. Because they have compactors or there's nothing in them. No, I got my mom bugging me like, can I have some of those shirts? Can I? Nope. You can't have some shirts. You want some Harley shirts, start your own YouTube channel. Ha ha.
I agree with Robin.
Yeah, things get cut up and like you go in there and it's like all their costume jewelry. The one time we found one that actually had some trash in the trash can, all the costume jewelry was all cut up and they had a bunch, yeah. Another shirt. Let's see. Hey, here's another one from Folsom.
Yeah.
Check it out. Yeah. I'm stuck in Folsom prison. So that makes 3. She's already sent me 16. I'm almost out of hangers, but fortunately we found some in a dumpster. Oh, wow. Okay, here's another long sleeve. Here's a sweatshirt. What's the front of this one? Property of Harley Davidson. Hey, look, I got some of your hair. It's generally the wife's hair. Hello, Maria.
Yep. Folsom prison.
I hear you. I would too, especially spending the extra gas to go there. Yeah. 4. I think this is it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Check this one out. No, you can't wear this one. That's a hooded sweatshirt.
Yeah. Nice.
Now I just need to get somebody to send me a Harley. No, Mrs. Nobody got one.
She did.
She got the one lady's shirt. At least I think it was a lady's shirt. It was white with baby blue. And I wasn't wearing white with baby blue, so the wife got one. She participates. She gets an award, right? Hooded sweatshirt.
Oh, that's nice. And it's got the...
Yeah. Thank you very much, ma'am. Oh, hi, fucker. Hey, what's up, Queef? I'm sure your name is not Queef, but you can call me Fucker, right? What's up, Queef? She did. And I share with my wife. What's mine is hers, and what's hers is hers. You know, theoretically, she co-owns a nice Dodge truck. Mr. and Mrs. Nobody, I got the postcard. Thank you. You're very welcome, Christine. If anybody else wants a postcard, by all means, hit the email, nobuddystravels at Gmail. Nobuddystravels, excuse me. There should be a link down in the bottom. Send me an email. I'll send you a postcard. I'll handwrite it myself, and if Little Nobody is around, Little Nobody signs on the postcards as well. We can do a dive. What's up, Scott?
Smart lady, Cheryl.
Oh, they always have them in there, Scott, but they're stupid expensive, man. They want like $18 for a little, like, no, I'm not. It's not worth it. But no, I get what you're saying. Satire there. It took me a minute, but yeah, no. For those of you who don't know, the Scott H guy, he's a local dude that I know from building model cars. But we made it to one of their local model car meets, but he's an hour in the other direction, and it's hard to get there, especially when the kid, well, there's traffic and the kid plays sports and everything else. I'm going to make it back to another one of those games, or another one of those meetings. I just haven't had the time. Snow. Well, if it snowed, I would definitely go ride the go-kart again. That's for sure. You know, I haven't had it out of the trailer since the snow. I was thinking about that the other day. I need to pull the thing out and probably put some WD-40 on the chain. Maybe give it a bath because it got filthy. Absolutely filthy. Seven and a half inches. That's what she said. That's funny. Or was that the infamous last words, if that's what he claimed? Jeez. That's why I don't live in Canada. I would love to go to Canada, but Canada wouldn't let me in because I've been to jail. If I tried to get in, they wouldn't let me in. Because, you know, you make mistakes once in your life, and apparently that's the person you are forever, according to the Canadian Border Patrol. Where's the show at October? Because I'll cover it. If nobody minds, I'll show up with a camera and I'll cover it and I'll put it up on here. Yeah. Yeah. And I did like 2008. 8 years ago. And, you know, the person that I was 8 years ago when I was 27 is not even remotely close to the individual that I am today. I mean, hell, I was a DJ at the time. Got paid to drink for free, you know? Hence the DUI. It was a great time. You should not try it. If given the chance, don't go to Maricopa County Jail. Oh, I got 35 of you here. All right, hit me up with some. I'll hit you up at some point. Give me a reminder, something about that when it gets 6:32 p.m. I got somebody who asked to join my group as I'm sitting here. That makes 220 members in my Facebook group. That's exciting. All right, buddy. Hell, even if you just send it in a Facebook message, I'll get it there. And have the wife print it out. She does handy things like that for me. I try to make her feel important. Here, dear, can you print something for me? Can you use the scanner? Because I don't know how to use the scanner. Not. Yeah, it very rarely snows here in South Carolina either, and we got like 6 inches of snow.
Mississippi. I would have never imagined.
Yeah, no, but it's going to be 113. I forget, you're in Australia, aren't you, Kalina? Or Kalina? I'm sorry, I'm massacring your name.
Oh, wow.
Yo, it took me a minute to,
Yeah, me too.
I smoke Camels. You got 8 inches in Somerville. The pink socks and underwear was a nice touch. They give you pink towels, too. And they don't give you a pillow, so you got to roll up your pink towel and use it as a pillow. How many products from the ones that you find do you discard because of the expiration date? I never expected this many people. I generally don't discard anything unless it's like, I mean, we found a can of something at that Family Dollar that the woman kicked us out of once upon a time that I want to say expired in like 2013. We threw that one away. But as far as dry goods are concerned,
Maybe like 1% of that?
sometimes we get them home and they're open or it's crusty, but if it's something that I would eat myself, I don't throw it away. Like, I pull it out of the trash because things, I mean, think about the majority of the stuff that we pull out of the trash is like chips, M&Ms, licorice. Like, licorice doesn't expire. I mean, it has an expiration date on the package, but how much of the expiration date on the package is simply there to keep the company who's producing it making stuff and sending it out to make it look like they're selling more than they actually are, you know? Yeah, like peanuts don't expire, you know what I mean? Like, they might get stale or something after a while, but no. I think the expiration date is there just to make it look like they're they're selling more than they actually are. It's been nice weather in Alabama. I got my VW running. Love that old bug. It's a 73 Super Beetle. Yeah, I'm a Mopar guy at heart, but I got bit by the Volkswagen bug at one point. I had need to jump in the shower and get cleaned off. Well, you could take me with you. I had a 59 Beetle that a kid had jumped up and down on the roof and caved the roof in on it. I bought it as a package with, the popcorn's fine. I bought 2 cars. A 59 Beetle on like I said, the roof was all jacked up, and then I got a 63 that had a sliding sunroof. So I cut the sliding sunroof out of the 63 because it was all rotted in the bottom, and I put it in the top of the 59. Excuse me. And then I put that 59 body on a 76 IRS pan. It had an 1835 dual port on it. I had to grind off the tabs on the shock tower to get it to fit the 76 pan, but otherwise it fit like a dream. It's a direct bolt over. So I had more modern suspension with the old body. Ended up with fenders off of a 65 on it. It had taillights off of a 61. The hood came off of the 63, just kind of threw it all together, and then hammered it down on the ground on a set of MP Butterflies. And it was two-tone black and red. I loved it. Patricia Burleson, I love what you do for the homeless vets. They deserve it so much more. Well, I do it because I feel obligated to do it in a good sort of a way because nobody else is doing it, so it's my obligation to go and do it. I don't want to say like obligatory, but it's like I feel like it's I found something that I feel like that I have to go and do because nobody else will. My husband's change of life car is a 2016 Challenger. Mopar or no car, right? We're actually living that now with a Dodge and a Jeep. Ooh-wee. Absolutely, Scott. Well, I had a 76 that belonged to the mother of my child that got wrecked. The body was all pushed in on the front passenger side fender where the fuel filler neck was at, and they totaled the car out and gave me $3,800 for it. And then I bought it back on salvage title for $400, I think. Drove the thing back to the house because it still drove. And then I went to the local VW guy, and I gave him $1,100 for the 61 and the 63. I want to say that the 59 and the 63. I want to say that the 59 was already sitting on a 65 floor pan that had no, the pan halves were cut out of it. So, I mean, I took the three cars and just, put them all together. And it was a fun little car. It'd pull front wheels off the ground if you revved it up and dumped the clutch. Yeah, the new dumpster mobile. I like it too.
Alberto was asking about finding the perfect CVS.
Oh, I have found some things. Just need to find that perfect CVS score. They're all so different. All the CVSs are so drastically different. Like, we've got one that we drive by that never has any garbage in it, ever. Like, I don't know how it even works, because the diabetes dumpster is the one that's closest to the house, and then the Dookie dumpster, between the diabetes and the Dookie dumpster, there's another CVS, and we've gone probably 5 or 6 times, and there's never been anything, ever. Doesn't matter what day of the week, what time of the day you go, there's never anything in their trash. But we can go, well, there's not even trash in their trash, dude. Like, there isn't even, 72 Yoda Nova that way, yeah. But, like, we can go to the diabetes dumpster, and there'll be, sometimes, there'll be a bag full of candy, like a whole big bag full of candy. And then we'll drive to the Dookie dumpster, and it'll be like 17 things of juice and 14 bags of chips.
And if we went across the bridge, we'd pick up the Pacific on a reel.
Well, that trash can's locked now.
Is it?
They cleaned it up and locked it. Yeah,
but it was
I sent a piece of that video to at CVS something, and they cleaned that trash can up, but now it's locked.
It was
That was absolutely, it was absolutely disgusting. That trash can was, but I never did make contact with the lady with the pig. There's a lady with a pig here, which is why we still leave the sweaty bread, because I've seen her twice, and the last time I saw her, we were with little nobody, and it was when she had just first got her go-kart, and we took it down to the end of the street to a patch of grass, and the thing is running, and she's on it, putting her seatbelt on, and the lady with the pig gets out of her car and lets the pig off the leash, and the pig just out running around like, hey, we weren't here trying to ride a go-kart or anything. So I was kind of irritated with her at the time, and it didn't even occur to me to ask her about whether or not she wanted bread. However, that lady, being a open vegan, that pig's probably on some sort of a weird gluten-free something. Yeah, who knows?
How does the goat?
I don't know where that lady with the goat and the pony live, though. Like, I know where the lady down here with the little pony that lives. Hi, Josephine, if I didn't already. My neighborhood's weird as shit, okay? There's a lady who lives on my side road at the end of the block who has a miniature pony, okay? And then there's this other lady in my neighborhood who has a miniature pony, 2 miniature fainting goats, and a full-size goat. Sometimes you'll see her driving around the neighborhood with her arm out the passenger window of a Honda S2000, running her miniature horse around the neighborhood, miniature pony, whatever it is. And then she walks her goats around the neighborhood. I've seen that woman at the farmer's market sharing a donut with her pony. Like, she'll take a bite, pony will take a bite, she'll take a bite. I mean, she's
Unique.
like, she is
An ostrich.
she is somewhere else. She's an absolute sweetheart, but she's, and if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, but she's told me, because I've had conversations with her before, because I have a daughter who likes ponies, and she has ponies, so you make small talk when your daughter is petting the pony. The pony has a bedroom in her house and sleeps on a bed. Aldi's frozen veggie recall. We don't have an Aldi that's close. There's Mount Pleasant is where there's an Aldi, and well, the Mount Pleasant, every trash can in Mount Pleasant is locked. Yes, ma'am, I like my hat. There's the lady who sent all the stuff.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So all the dumpsters in Mount Pleasant are locked, and the other one is all the way up in Somerville, which is my wife. Yeah, Ladson, Somerville. It had rat parts in it. Well, I'm not going to get. I'm sure as shit not going to dumpster dive rat part vegetables. Yeah, no, I'm not driving all the way up to, because I know there's one, I think, on Dorchester Road, by where the Big Lots.
Because we went in there.
Yeah, we did. But no, I'm not driving. I'm not driving way the hell up. That's my wife makes that drive for work every day. It's an hour one way without traffic. We don't go up that way. We've gone up there before and like looked around at some of the dumpsters up in that area, and there's generally never anything in them. We've gone a couple of times, and it's been, I mean, if it was going to be a guaranteed payday on stuff coming out of the cans, I would drive 2 hours one way. But it's a whole lot of time in the car for a unsure payoff. You know what I mean?
And the Target shopping center, somebody shot somebody there over the weekend.
Oh, apparently somebody got shot up by where we were dumpster diving. That's exciting.
Yep.
The kinds of things that happen. See, there's a big old difference. Like, Somerville is a much more, I don't want to say grown up than Charleston, but it's much more developed, and there's a lot more people, and there's a lot more crime going on up there, and the traffic is horrific. As opposed, there's always somebody getting shot in either North Charleston or in Somerville, and it's just from sheer population. I mean, the larger the population is where you're at, the higher the crime is going to be. It's basic. Yeah, she got shot behind a movie theater. That's exciting. As opposed to down here where I'm at is still, everything's old still. I mean, granted, they're building new apartment complexes and things, but it's this area has been established for a really, really long time, and there's not a whole lot of change going on down here. So the crime we get down here, where we're at on this island, is domestic violence. Suspect refuses to come out of the water for the police.
Today's news.
That was today's news. I mean, like, I've got a $600 backpack blower that's in the bed of my truck right now, and I could, granted, I'm gonna lock it up just because I'm accustomed to things, but I could leave that blower in the back of my truck tonight with the $800 worth of weed eaters and accessories and stuff and lawnmowers and everything else in the back of my truck, and I'd wake up in the morning and it would still be there. So, I mean, it's not, we get like somebody, yeah, like somebody, you go look on the neighborhood page and it'll be like, somebody's missing $3 worth of quarters out of the center console of their car. Any information? Like,
I can only imagine, Scott, because in the 10, 12 years I've been in the area, I've seen a ton of change.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's changed even in the time. I mean, but James Island is changing too, though, and it's changed a lot. The most, I mean, yeah, they're building apartments and stuff like that, which is just destroying the already terrible traffic in this area. But the demographics of the people have significantly changed in the time that I've been here. That it went from, you know, retirees with Labradors to men wearing women's pants walking Labradoodles. Because I've been right where I'm at here for almost 6 years now. Yeah. It has changed. I've had 3 sets of neighbors on the other side of my wall in this duplex. They just keep getting progressively, well, I don't know. Tony was that guy. I first moved in here, man, there was this crazy white dude with dreadlocks down to the middle of his ass that lived on the other side of that wall. 3 o'clock in the morning, he'd be dragging girls around the front yard by their hair. So I made up a pretty elaborate lie to him about the building that we lived in was being foreclosed.
Well, the neighbor was.
No, I understand that, but that was,
All right.
and I lied to him, and he packed his stuff and he left. So, yeah. He hadn't?
No.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, for like more than 6 months he hadn't paid rent.
Oh, all right. Oh boy. Well, unless you guys got some questions, I'm probably gonna end up wrapping this one up. Gotta wrap it up like a dick and a hooker. Ooh. You would have loved it here in the 80s. It was much more fun to like around here and back then. I'm sure everything was better in the 80s, except for cars. Cars in the 80s sucked. However, well, cars that were made in the 80s sucked. In the 80s, you could buy, what's up, Urbex? Your postcard went out today. Sorry, I lagged a little bit. No, you could buy cars from the 60s for, you know, $500. What's the answer to that one, dear?
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow we have taxes again.
So, we'll be done by 7.
All right, I guess we're going tomorrow. I thought we might go today. I don't.
Well, or today. We'll discuss as soon as we can. Either side. I'll turn on the coffee.
Well, that's when we drove the ones from the 60s and 70s. Yeah, that was. I understand. If anybody's into the 80s, there's a show on Netflix that I've been watching called Halt and Catch Fire that is pretty kick-ass. It's about the evolution of the computer in the 80s. There's 4 seasons of it. It was a AMC series at one point, but it's since been concluded, so all 4 seasons of it are on Netflix. And it's so 1980s, and it's just to the T, man. They didn't miss a single detail about the 80s in that video, or that series, they should say. Oh, well, there's the wife walking around behind me.
We had yummy homemade soup from Cheap Turkey.
Yeah, we had homemade soup tonight, and she's going to put that away. I made enough to freeze 2 containers of it. Anyway, I try to keep these under 45 minutes, and we're at 44 minutes and 19 seconds. So, folks, thank you much for... What? What, dear?
I said, have a good week.
Yeah, have a good week. Perhaps we go out tonight. Maybe we go out tomorrow night. Let's find... I don't know. We'll see. Peace out, Girl Scout.